Hello, and good evening, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Protecting the Vision, sponsored by the National Optometric Foundation in collaboration with the National Optometric Association. We wanted to educate the communities, let people know who we are and what we represent, the things that we're doing in various communities. And if you would like to partner with us, you'll have that opportunity to be able to reach out to us to do that as well. I am a board member for the National Optometric Foundation, Director of Education, and I'm excited to share some great information with you all tonight, along with our guest speaker, who I'll introduce shortly after I tell you a little bit about who we are as the NOF. We're the financial arm. We're here supporting the NOA in various ways, and we're also supporting the NOSA, our student organization. Those are our future optometrists who are in school learning the ropes to become and have a career in the field of optometry. And we support the NOA also by working with them each year at the convention with the initiative Serve Where You Go, where we're helping to provide free eye exams to the community, underserved communities, individuals who may not have access to the healthcare system. We are there doing free eye exams, and we're partnering with people like VSP, great companies like VSP who are partnering with us to provide frames and lenses, glasses for people who attend that Serve Where You Go event each year. And I'm looking forward to talking more about this event with our guest speaker on tonight as well. We also try to support by providing scholarships to students who are thinking about going to optometry school. They're unsure. Those who are in optometry school, we try to support them financially as well, and various scholarships, also helping them to attend the National Optometric Association convention. And we also try to support by just trying to make sure that people understand the three silent killers of your vision, because we don't want you to lose your vision. We want you to understand about diabetes, how it can form into diabetic retinopathy if uncontrolled, your blood pressure, hypertensive retinopathy if uncontrolled, and also glaucoma. These things can slowly start to take away your vision if left untreated and not managed there. We don't want you to lose your sight. So we want you to tune in, share this webinar with your family and friends. We also want you to know that we have a website if you want to learn more about us. It's the www.nationaloptometricfoundation.com. We also have a Facebook page under the same name, National Optometric Foundation. And also, if you want to, if we ask that you subscribe on our YouTube channel, National Optometric Foundation, webinars similar to the ones that we're doing tonight, different topics, different speakers are available on our YouTube channel. And if you want to continue to allow us and help us do the great things that we're doing in the community and supporting the students who are going into school to become optometrists, we have a cash app, and you can donate tonight. Even if it's just $10, you can donate tonight through our cash app, $ Protecting the Vision, and we'll be so thankful for your contribution. Now, again, I want everybody to feel welcome. I think it's truly an honor for us to create space for conversation, that's going to educate, uplift, and inspire people. And as we celebrate Black History Month, this is Black History Month, we're reminded that history isn't just something we look back on. History is something we build every single day. The legacy of excellence, resilience, leadership in healthcare, it didn't happen by accident, and it happened by individuals. We'll talk about individuals who helped shape the NOA, our founders as well. Individuals who choose to lead, to serve, to open doors for others. And tonight we have the privilege of having to hear from a leader, Dr. Mark Orso, who's not only carrying that legacy forward, but he is actively shaping the future of optometry through the National Optometric Association. Dr. Orso, we'll talk about the history, we'll talk about vision, we'll talk about serve and impact and what lies ahead in 2026, okay? And my hope is that by the end of the conversation that I have with Dr. Orso, Each of us, we're going to walk away. Those of you who are listening, you're going to walk away not just informed, but also inspired to continue to work in our own communities, working in communities that's underserved and underrepresented, making sure we're educating communities about the 3 silent killers of vision: diabetic retinopathy, hypertensive retinopathy, and glaucoma. All right, so let's lean in, let's learn, let's celebrate the power of our purpose-driven leadership, and let's invite Dr. Mark Orso to the show. Dr. Orso, I'm so happy to have you on with us tonight, representing the NOA, the president for the NOA. Thank you for being on the show with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Brown, and it's a privilege and an honor to be on this webinar and to be a part of the NOA, and also extending our big thank you to the NOF, which is our philanthropic arm of the NOA, who do such a wonderful job in recruiting and maintaining our students of optometry. So just a great job, Dr. Reynolds, president, and Dr. Brown and all the board of NOF. Thank you so much, and just a pleasure to get back on the webinar. And I just welcome questions. The big thing is the participation. At this point, more than ever, we need the participation of our members and our sponsors and supporters of the NOA, because it is a time where supports are being taken away from the NOA due to the political climate that exists at this time. But that's not going to stop the NOA from doing our mission of advancing the visual health of underrepresented and minority communities, and just trying to get more African Americans or optometrists of color into the great field of optometry. And it is a wonderful field that is progressing every day and every year. And with the help of the AOA, our big organization for the optometrists, just doing a wonderful job in promoting optometry as a wonderful profession, and a way to give back to the community, and also to earn a living. So just thanking everyone out there who support the NOA and the NOF. We want to dive right into the history of the NOA. So back in 1969, about 25 doctors got together in Richmond, Virginia, in early spring of 1969, and they had a meeting. Dr. C. Clayton Powell and Dr. John Howlett led that meeting. And what they wanted to do is just to establish a Black organization that had national clout and stature, so that the Black optometrists and the optometrists of color had a voice. Back in that time, Black optometrists were allowed in the AOA, but there was a catch in that they weren't allowed in the state organizations. So, and if you weren't allowed in the state organization, then you couldn't apply to be in the AOA. So where you could be, but if the state didn't let you in, then you couldn't get in. And Dr. C. Clayton Powell and Dr. Howlett saw these, insufficiencies, and that is what created the NOA. So, going back a little bit more on the history of the NOA, diving right back into the history of the NOF, in 1974, Dr. James Washington, he established the NOF with the main goal of recruiting minority students or underrepresented students, and maintaining them, helping them stay in school and become optometrists. So, the NOA and the NOF have the same members. We kind of shift boards, and we all work together, as far as keeping our mission and goal alive. So,
and I just want to touch upon that, Dr. Orso, because you mentioned a rich history, the founding of the NOA in 1969, and that's so important, because so much was going on back then that we are not necessarily dealing with the same way today, but we see some little elements of it still existing in certain areas in society as we continue to move forward in regards to equality and making sure that we're included, and making sure that areas that do not have access to healthcare, they are getting that access to the healthcare, and they're represented in ways there. So the partnership that happens between the NOA and the NOF and the NOSA, it's all important in helping us do the great things that we see the NOA continue to do and continue to be that leader in several communities. We've traveled to so many communities each year when the NOA will host convention, and we have gone into those communities and have seen how lives have been changed because the NOA exists. I can't imagine, or I'm thinking about all of the lives that were touched because the NOA existed. All the different communities that didn't have that representation and didn't have that eye care service. And we were able to go in there and provide that service in various communities. So I just say that because I want to encourage us to continue to partner together, continue to work together, because the NOA has made an impact and the NOA continues to make a positive impact upon the lives of so many individuals there. So thank you again for being on with us to share, because there are some people who are not familiar with the association and the foundation. So you're bringing clarity to those who may be watching tonight that's not familiar with the organization. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. And just expounding on that concept, I personally, the NOA means so much to me. I mean, I would not be an optometrist, a practicing optometrist for 40 years if it was not for the NOA. I mean, my story goes back to Ohio State University, junior year, undergrad. I didn't know I was up there taking classes to become a medical doctor, but did I want to be a medical doctor? Not really, but I had to do something. My mom, she wasn't going to take me back in the house. So, you're out on your own, you're trying to figure it out. And a member of the NOA, Dr. Jackie Goins, who is Dr. Jackie Davis now, found me in organic chemistry class and said, "Hey, we need some minority, some black, some color, some students of color to become optometrists." So and she held my hand and showed me what to do, and I became an optometrist because of the National Optometric Association. So for me, it's very personal, and I think that that members of the NOA should look, and members and non-members. We have about 800 to about 1,000 black optometrists out there, or African American optometrists out there, and I would say that maybe 200 of us participate, whether it's in membership or whether it's in coming to convention, but the majority of us do not participate in the National Optometric Association nor the National Optometric Foundation. And that's a shame, because every last one of those optometrists would not be doing what they're doing if it was not for C. Clayton Powell and John Hallett and their vision about trying to get more optometrists of color.
Amen.
So we need to, I mean, I don't know how, and that's a dilemma as the president, that I don't know how to reach out to these folks and just tell them, hey, we need to give back. I mean, you're out there and you're making, 200,000 plus a year as an optometrist, and you can give back. You've got to give back. And just know that at this time, and right now, we're in dire straits.
Yeah.
Not only because funding is being pulled from the National Optometric Association and National Optometric Foundation because of the political climate. We have not had national funding in many years. I'm talking over 20 years. We have not had federal funding for our organization. So we've relied on companies, sponsors out there: Alcon, Luxottica, Essilor, Cooper Vision, just to VSP, just to name a few of our sponsors. We've counted on them to help us, and at this point, they have pressure coming from other areas where they are withdrawing funds from the NOA and the NOF, and so we have to step up now to, we have to help ourselves. We
Yes.
have to help ourselves. And if we don't, then this organization will not, exist. And, just to further that point, we've existed since 1969. And I would say back then, we were roughly, I'd say 2% of the practicing optometrists in the United States. We are still at 2%. So even though that's more optometrists because there's a more population, but percentage wise, there's no gain. Whose fault is it? I believe it's our fault because we have to do a better job in reaching back and helping students. We have the ways, we have the means. We have to quit asking those companies. We have to ask ourselves, and we have to start to ask black owned businesses and black organizations to help us. And ways that we're doing that is we're starting conversations with AKA, which is a sorority. We're starting to start talks with them about maybe sponsoring events of screenings and vision, serve where you go kind of programs where we go and we do exams and give glasses in conjunction with VSP. So we're starting conversations of where we will help each other because we have to. We have to help each other at this time and not depend on outside companies to help us further, getting more people. We're 13% of the population in the United States. And even if we got to 10%, that would be, a great goal so that people can um, um, see patients can, I'm gonna ramble on, and that's because I feel so strongly about the National Optometric Association and the National Optometric Foundation, and sometimes I ramble. But what I want to express is that, you know we patients want to see an optometrist that looks like them. And I'd say sometimes, not all the time, but if they have a bad experience somewhere, they want to come and they want to say, "Hey, Dr. Orso, can you redo this? Can you recheck this?
Right.
I'm just a little untrustworthy of where I went." And I tell you, most times it's fine. The
Mhm.
health is fine. The prescription is fine. But how did you treat that person?
Right.
And that's what they just felt like they weren't being treated properly. And to have that avenue to where you can just say, "Hey, is everything okay?" And to, like I said, I'm gonna ramble and I can talk all day about this, but I feel that in my 40 years of practice, the doctors that I've known, the optometrists that I've known, the black, optometrists of color, they've shown that we know as much. I'm going to not say more because I don't feel like anybody's superior to anybody, but we know as much as our practicing white counter colleagues. So,
Yep.
so that we have shown that we can do the same things that they do, and in my mind, I feel like they appreciate that and they respect us on the level that when they do see a person of color come in, that they treat them the same way that they would treat a person that's not of color. And I feel that we have gained in that area, that I feel like there's better care and there's no discrimination because of person's skin color as they walk to the door to have an exam. For myself, when somebody comes in, I'll tell you up front, I don't see that color. I don't see that religion. I don't see the MAGA hat. I don't see that. I see a pair of eyeballs. And as long as you're respectful to me, I'm respectful to you. And we can get this eye examination done. Make sure your eyes are healthy. More important, make sure your body is healthy. And, and further visual health. And that's my vision of all optometrists is to don't look at that person's, that person's outer covering. Look at their
Right.
eyes and do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So,
Right. And I would say, as in the field of optometry, we are going to encounter all sorts of personalities, all sorts of people from different backgrounds. And like you say, our job is to treat everybody the same, make sure that their eye health is checked, making sure that they have an informed, thorough eye exam. And that is why people do come to us for second opinions. We get that often. People will come and say they took their child to some place, they felt rushed, they didn't feel like they had a one-on-one opportunity to ask the doctor any questions or get a complete sentence back from the doctor, and they will come to us for a second opinion, and we slow it down. We make sure that they feel welcome. We make sure that they understand that we want them to ask questions, and we give them an opportunity to ask questions there during their eye exam as well. And that's what makes a difference between an optometrist, who's going to slow down and give you that opportunity to ask questions and explain things to you versus an optometrist that's maybe rushing through because they got to meet a certain quota, if that's what's going on there. But whatever the reason is, we're so thankful that those patients walk into the door and that we have the opportunity to be able to provide that care and the attention that they need or their children may need when it comes to their eye exam. I feel that the NOA, and Dr. Reynolds actually said it herself, the National Optometric, I'm going to read it straight from what she said in the comment section, continues to move forward and providing, care and shining brightly as an organization. The National Optometric Association, the foundation, and the NOSA. Yes, thank you for putting that up there for me, Nate. So we're going to push forward despite the things that may have been obstacles in the past, despite the things that may have prevented optometrists from practicing in the beginning. We're moving forward, and we're moving forward with joy because joy cometh in the morning. And so I was going to ask you, Dr. Orso, when you look at how far the NOA has come, what moments in its history, stands out to you as turning points? What do you feel the mission of the NOA, how it still speaks to Black optometrists and underserved communities? What do you think the mission of the NOA still speaks when it comes to those communities and optometrists there?
Well, I think as a whole that the NOA has shown that we are equal to any other optometrist, as far as providing the necessary care that a patient needs. So, have we been successful in getting into the communities? No, in my opinion. There should be inner city clinics that have optometrists, and you will go to any major city and you'll find that the inner city clinics do not have optometry as a profession, as a discipline. And that's I truly believe that's where the NOA has failed. But sometimes you have to remember this is funding, this is federal funding. So maybe somebody tried to get it and could not get it, from a pushback for whatever. But I think in the future that should be our fight, is to get into the communities. I mean, myself, I'm in a lens crafters for over 35 years. And I will say that when I started the lens crafters, because I did start at Code, that I would say over 80%, maybe 90% of my patients were white. As of now, and I would say maybe about, it's probably 50-50, maybe 60% white, 40% black. But the Cincinnati area knows that if they need to see a Black optometrist, that I'm one of them. Dr. Crawford, he practices in Cincinnati. He's here. I believe that Dr. Spencer over in Northern Kentucky, she's there. So it's not a lot of us, but they know that they can come to me if there's a problem or they just don't feel like they've received the proper care. But like I said, moving forward, I would like to see more inner city clinics have optometrists in them. So
That's good. And thank you for representing and for being there for the community and also just being a representation of the NOA. I love to hear your story as you've shared at convention in the past about how the NOA has been um, so impactful upon your life, giving you direction. Not only just give you that direction, but they didn't leave you. They actually they were there to support you and usher you in to a career that has been rewarding. You know, imagine what the Cincinnati would look like without a Dr. Orso. How many people that you've served over the 35 years there would not have had access to the type of service and examination that you've given? You know, you've had an impact just as the NOA has had an impact. And I know that your role as president of the NOA is it's not a small task. It comes with many responsibilities there. And I just want you to speak about how this season of leadership has been for you and what it means to you personally to be the face of the NOA, an organization founded in 1969 to serve communities and to have representation for people of color.
So, what it brings to mind is the past presidents, the past board, my current board, the current board of the NOF. What has to be put out there in bold letters is that, you know, a lot of people get on boards for recognition. They get on boards to get paid, to, you know, to get on another board, to become famous. And I don't feel like any of us, any of the current, you know, I don't feel like any current or past members of the board have ever had that in their heart, because we don't get paid at this point. You know, we if we travel, most times we're traveling on our own time, on our own dime, but we're doing it out of the, you know, the love of our organization, and that we want to have more, you know, African American people of color. We want to have more people to, you know, enjoy this profession and to give back, because it's a wonderful profession that we're missing out on, and we just want, you know, to further the mission. So yeah, but as far as the presidency goes, back in 2016, Dr. Powell, while he was still you know, alive, he asked me, he said, you want to be vice president? You know, you'll be president in a few years. And I told him, you know, no, I'm not ready. And I meant that because as I looked at presidents like Dr. Reynolds and Dr. You know, Hicks and Dr. You know, all the presidents, Dr. Jones, and you know, I've looked
Dr.
at what,
Merritt.
yeah, Dr. Merritt, you know, Dr. Hurd, Dr. Lashida David,
Right.
Dr. You know, Dr. Livingston, you know, I looked at these doctors and I saw what they did, and I didn't, you know, I didn't feel like I could serve. And now that I'm in the position, it is tough. It's a lot of stuff that goes on. I mean, I may be in a Zoom meeting 3 to 4 times a week. There's stuff going on to where, you know, behind the scene, the NOA and the NOF is working hard to you know, to keep our mission alive. So it's a lot, but it's worth it. You know, it's rewarding, and you know, you know, it's a lot of stuff, but I'm enjoying it. Will I be happy when it's over? Yeah. I think that most presidents will say the same thing. Dr. Reynolds, being phenomenal, she served 4 years because of the passing of Dr. Poe. But Dr. Reynolds is just phenomenal, and she's a great mentor. And you know, but just the presidency is a hard job, and especially when you're not getting, you know, paid or compensated for it, then you have to do it because you love the organization, and that I do. So
That's good. And speaking of the organization and the profession and thinking about our young professionals out there who are working to become optometrists, what vision are you most passionate about right now, you know, for the future of the NOA and the next generation of optometrists there?
well, you know, I just went to a Black History Month panel discussion up at Ohio State University, and what's encouraging is that You know, I would say going back when I was in school, there was there was two of us in the entire class. So I'm talking the first through the fourth year. Out of 240 students, there were two African American students, myself and Dr. Marshall. And did we feel welcome? No. I mean, they nothing blatant, but there was no open arms, and it's like, hey, you guys are on your own, you know. And thank God, Dr. Marshall was a genius, and so he he helped me through. But he was a he is a very intelligent doctor, but very encouraging. When I go, like I went last week up there, and I would say we had a NOSA panel, and I would say it was about 30 students in that room. And of those 30 students, six of them were black. The rest of them were white or Hispanic or some other, nationality or race. So it's encouraging that NOSA is diverse and that they want to help with the mission. So that's my future. I think that as this nation ages, that people become softer, and so I'm hoping. My hope is that the NOSA furthers the NOA and help us to get more people of color and just be more accepted. So
Yeah, and I know that we're going to continue to face challenges, as optometrists, as an organization there. And we want to encourage those who are listening. If you're an optometrist, you're a part of the NOA. If you're not, please become a part of the NOA, because there's a role for you. There's a lot there's a lot that you can do. And we want the NOA to keep leaning into solutions. We don't want to just be the organization that's talking about the problems and not finding solutions to the problem there. So we want you guys to join the NOA, become involved, come to the conventions. We'll talk about that coming up here shortly. But come to the conventions, get to know the other optometrists within the organizations, and bring an optometrist with you so that we can continue to grow. The more people we got, more hands and feet that we have on the ground, the better work we can do. The more communities we can reach out to. Our work is not done. There's more work for us to do. And as we continue to take these steps towards St. Louis, Missouri, here in 2026 for the NOA convention coming up, we're looking forward to packing the place out. We're looking for you to let everybody who know about the convention coming up. They may go back, even if they're not an optometrist, let them know about it. They may go back to their optometrist and ask them, why are you not going? Are you going to the convention? I heard it's going to be great. I heard that there's a lot of education that's going to happen there. I heard that they're going to give free eye exams. You should go. Sometimes a patient can go back and encourage an optometrist to have their face in the place. So even if you don't have an optometrist that you may know, or who you want to encourage to come, let your patients know. Let your friends and families know, your family members know, so that they can encourage someone who you may not be in contact with to come to the convention and be more involved in the NOA. As Dr. Orso said, there's more work for us to do. There are some things that we have been successful in achieving, but there are some things that we need to sharpen on a little bit there. And it's going to help us be stronger as an organization there. Okay, so we're going to continue to work together, and we're going to talk about 2026, Dr. Orso. We want people to be excited about 2026 and the great things that's happening, and we want to talk about why they should be excited about this year's convention in St. Louis, Missouri, coming up here. So if you could give us a little talk about that.
okay, sounds great. Like Dr. Brown has alluded to, the convention will be in St. Louis, and I believe the dates is that July 11th, or I'm trying to think. Let me look at my calendar to make sure. I got so many other things to do, but I believe it's from the 9th through the 12th of July. And anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. But it's in St. Louis, Missouri, at the Frontenac Hotel, which is a very lovely hotel. We have a lot of things going on. Initially, where the board, we're going to get there, and we are going to actually meet with AOA. And I believe that AOA's headquarters are in St. Louis, and we're going to tour their headquarters and have a joint board meeting with them. So we're looking forward to speaking with the AOA and just expanding on the AOA. They have been very receptive and to the NOA. And so we look forward to meeting with them on Tuesday, I believe. On Wednesday, we have a golf tournament, the Henry Moore Golf Tournament. In the morning, we need as many participants as we can in that tournament or outing. It's a little trophy that's presented, but the bigger thing is the money that we raise during that golf tournament. So we encourage golfers and non-golfers, because I would say non-golfers, but I've been golfing for about 35 years and I'm still a non-golfer, because so just know that it's not you don't have to be a great golfer, but just have it in your heart to get out there and swing that club and get some money so that we can get some scholarships for our students. So that's on Wednesday. Then Wednesday, I believe we'll have a another short board meeting and then a tour of the St. Louis School of Optometry, where Dr. Dean Keisha Elder is the head dean of St. Louis School of Optometry. So we're excited to go and see her. She's a member of the NOA. So we'll do that on Wednesday. On Thursday, I think it's our biggest event, and that's anywhere that we go and have a convention. We do a serve where you go in conjunction with VSP. They provide a van, and the van has two I lanes in there. And then we are at a community center or church, and we have maybe 8 more lanes in that facility, to where we see over 200 people in the community. The underserved community is where we go, and we give 200 plus eye exams and 200 plus glasses to these. Thank you. July 8th through the 12th. Okay, thank you so much. But yeah, we get there and and that's our big event. Serve where you go. And that's how we give back to the community. These are full eye exams, checking for diseases that and to think, and that's what I want everyone who is a non-optometrist to know, is that an optometrist is checking health initially. We're making sure that there's no problems with your eye, and even getting into the body. We're making sure that's okay before we prescribe a pair of glasses. And that's why a person should come in every year to 2 years to have an eye examination. So keep that in mind, that that's what we're doing. We're doing physicals on folks. And so that, like I said, that is our big push on Thursday morning. And we do that from maybe 8 o'clock to maybe 3 in the afternoon. And then once we get back, we start our festivities as far as the convention goes. We have at least, I think, 12 to 14 hours of continuing education. The speakers are wonderful. We try to go within our membership as far as getting the speakers for our continuing education. Our students, NOSA, they outnumber the doctors when we go to convention, which is a great thing. We love that. We love our students. We intermingle with them, because I think that them having conversations with us and interacting with us, that lets them know there's nothing different about them as opposed to us. We don't say we're here and you're here. We're all together, and that gives them hopefully the drive to become optometrists. I know that when I went, that's how they treated me back in 1984 when I went to my first convention in New Orleans, and that gave me the drive to go back and finish my 2 years after I had already done 2 years. So I think just having that interactions with the doctors is paramount. And as I said, I can ramble on about the NOA forever, but I want to talk about something that I'm going to try to implement this year. Is I'm going to try to during banquet or even during one of the luncheons, I'm going to try to pair students up with doctors in their area or where they may want to go to practice and just be a mentor. I think we have mentoring programs for sure. We through the NOF, we have visioning in the future with our HBCUs. We have a lot of things with Miss Marlene Bell and VSP. We have a lot of mentoring already, but I think that we can turn it up a notch at convention and really start matching people up and saying, hey, get their numbers, get their names, and start communicating with these students so that when they do graduate, that they have options of where they can go, or where they can practice, and they feel comfortable with the doctor who they mentor with, or even if they don't go to the mentoring doctor, that doctor they may know someone who they can go with. But we just have to form that more closely internet relationship with these students so that they will feel comfortable, you know, being staying in NOA when they get out of school, because we lose a lot. We lose a lot of students who transition from NOSA to NOA, and we have to figure that out because I mean there if in school, if you believe in the mission of the NOA in school, then believe in the mission of NOA when you get out of school. Just please don't come and accept the scholarships and not serve, not give back. So I look to try to pair people up, during the convention. So that's Thursday and Friday. Friday is pretty exciting because Friday we have a big party. And that party, the doctors and the students turn that party out. Now, the last few parties, old Dr. Orso, I'll be 65 in October. In about an hour of the party, I got to go home. I'm tired. So, but I know that it goes on longer than that, and the doctors and the students have a fantastic time. So it's a good time to intermingle with one another and just form that relationship, so that if you do decide to go work with that doctor, that you have that relationship established. But Friday night, big party. Uh, just come for the party. So Saturday we have our fun run, and the fun run, Will Kelly fun run. We raise money again for scholarship for students. It's a 2 mile walk or run. We have some fantastic athletes who just do Olympic times as far as that 2 minutes 2 miles go. If I do go, I'll walk. So we'll see how that goes. But that's Saturday morning. And then we're back into continuing education throughout the day on Saturday. Saturday night is our big awards banquet. Dr. Andre Whitehead will be back with us, thank God. He's a wonderful MC, and we're just so ready for him to come back and take control of that event, and so we can get our awards handed out. We are vowing to, let our sponsors jump up on stage and present some awards this year. They support us. We want to support them, and if anything, we apologize for past conventions where they may not have been able to get up and present, but at this convention, they will be able to present their award in conjunction with the NOA. So that's our banquet. We used to do a little party afterwards. We may try to do that Saturday night, especially if we have some young folks come in to help us out, so that us old heads don't go to bed immediately. We can stay up a little while longer and maybe dance a little bit. So, oh, it's official, Dr. Whitehead. You are the MC. So don't try to back out on us. Um, but that's Saturday night. Um, Sunday morning, we do have a prayer breakfast. Oh, last prayer breakfast was phenomenal. I don't know the young lady's name, but she did a praise dance. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And we hope that people can stick around Sunday and do our prayer breakfast. I don't know if there'll be any CE on that day. I'm not for sure, but the prayer breakfast in itself is not to be missed. And then we conclude the convention on Sunday morning. So.
That sounds like a fantastic outline, Dr. Orso. And I'm telling you, that last part that you talk about, I always try to make sure that my flight is scheduled after the prayer breakfast so that I can get the prayer breakfast. It is a great time. It's a touching time where we have students sharing testimonies about their journey as a student or their current journey as a student and the challenges that they may have faced as well, and how they persevered and they pushed forward and they pressed their way and still continued their course as an optometrist, their journey towards becoming an optometrist there. It's always good to hear the testimonies from current optometrists as they share their journey, getting to where they are today. That prayer breakfast, you're not just getting fed food, but you're also getting fed mentally, spiritually there, as you mentioned with the praise dance by the young lady. She's done a fantastic job before, and looking forward if she comes back again to doing another fantastic performance at the prayer breakfast there. But I think the vibe and the feeling at an NOA convention is different from other conventions that we've attended. Do you agree with that?
Yes, and that's one thing that I wish I could express to the optometrists of this nation is that we're not trying to replace the AOA. They're irreplaceable.
Yeah.
We are just creating an atmosphere to where a doctor can come and see other doctors of their, that look like them. But are we saying that doctors that don't look like us can't come? No, please come. We invite you. If you ever come to a NOA convention and you don't feel welcome, I want you to reach out to me or to the president and let us know, because that is not what we're built on. We're built on friendship and brothership and just having a great time together, and celebrating the wonderful profession of optometry. So yeah, we really would invite everyone, all optometrists to come. I mean, and then if you look at the registration fee for the convention and the amount of continuing education that you're going to receive, that in itself is a bargain. So we, just come in and do that, and just be with us. We welcome you. And that, like I said, I can talk about this stuff all day, but that is part of what I want to do before my presidency ends, is that I want to reach out to Latinos in optometry. I want to reach out to women in optometry and Ebony Eagles and Black Eye Care Perspective, and let them know we're in this same fight together. Please just know that the NOA does not exclude anyone from participating in our convention, and we welcome everyone to come and have fun. We it's like a big family reunion.
Yes.
We're laughing and joking and having a good old time, and it's different than any other convention that I go to. So.
Right. You can even see it in the eyes and the voice. You can hear it in the voice of the vendors who are set up there with their tables and everything. You have so many vendors who come to showcase their companies and what they have to offer to students and to optometrists. And it's a very diverse setting. Every time that I've gone to the NOA convention, it's very diverse, but they enjoy the convention and they come to the events and the parties that you mentioned, or the prayer breakfast that happens there, or the fun run. They participate sometimes with that. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere. The vibe is good, the mood is great. And then you guys have recently started adding the art option as well there too. I have a piece of art here in our home that I got from there, the Black Wall Street portrait that was on display there that I was able to win, and my wife got Tupac from last year's convention here in the home there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what great pieces we're going to have this time when we convene in St. Louis, Missouri as well there too. But I want to say to any optometrist that's watching there, we are looking forward to seeing your face at convention this year. Maybe you've never gone. Maybe you never been excited about it, but make this your year to be at convention. Dr. Orso has given you the outline where it's going to be educational. You're going to have fun at the parties. You're going to get opportunity to be able to receive things from our vendors that's there, the sponsors, and you're going to get an opportunity if you get there in time to serve in the communities there. So you'll still be able to apply the talent and the skills that you're using week after week in your office at convention in the communities at serve where you go there. So we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to someone bringing a new face to convention. And I'm just excited about being together. As you say, it's it feels like a family reunion when we come to convention there. So as we're wrapping up things, Dr. Orso, I want to touch upon Black History Month. It's an important month. We celebrate Black excellence. We celebrate inventors. We celebrate those who are at the top of their companies, their CEOs, their presidents of National Optometric Association. We talk about the President of the United States, number 44, Barack Obama, and his journey becoming the president. Is there anything that you would like to share that's impactful or something that's personal for you when you think about Black History Month?
Well, when I think about Black History Month, it goes back to it's a little complicated because it's like why as people do we separate the human race into black and white and Asian and I don't get it. I don't get it. We all have the same behaviors. We have the same illnesses. We unfortunately die the same deaths, and everyone is the same. And I don't understand it why things are separate. It's something that I know that I can't change. But I wish it was. We didn't have to have a Black History Month. I wish that everyone did not see color like that. But to expand on that, I think that we as a nation, as a worldly community, we've missed a lot because of slavery. 300-400 years of holding a population back, the phenomenal minds that were wasted, because of this. But now that, conditions have changed, we're able to excel and to give back as black optometrists or black people, period. So just looking back and saying, how wonderful things are, but also being saddened by what was missed because of the many generations that didn't get a chance. Um, and thank goodness that those times have changed, and hopefully moving forward that will get even better. So
Yeah, I'm thankful that Dr. C. Clayton Powell and Dr. John Howlett, they found it within themselves, to press forward and fight, and do the work that was necessary and founding the National Optometric Association, and continuing the legacy of that we continue to work hard, to fight for to open doors when it comes to healthcare and education, because we can see that there are attempts sometimes to wipe certain parts of history out as if it never existed. And I think that's a terrible thing to do. And I think we need to continue to talk about the reasons why it was important for the NOA to be founded back in 1969 and why it's important for us to exist now, even if we are not totally combined with the the AOA. We continue to fight a fight to help underserved and underrepresented communities, people who don't have full access to the healthcare that our other brothers and sisters may have access to. So thank you, Dr. Orso, for being on here and giving such great insights into the NOA and its history and your role as the president of the NOA and what we as optometrists have to look forward to in this year's convention in St. Louis, Missouri. As we are closing this webinar for tonight, You can let people know how they can come see you if they're nearby and they want to come see you in Cincinnati, Ohio, as their optometrist. You can let them know, and any parting words that you may have for our listening audience tonight.
Well, this goes out to our sponsors and companies that may want to help out the NOA. Is that we've never we speak of ROIs, and other organizations, I believe, report their numbers to these companies and let them know this is what we're doing. But we don't. The NOA is not a buying group, so we can't show you. But we have, myself included, we have doctors spending tons of money for contact lenses and office equipment and instruments and things like that. And just know that we are a large, number of people, of optometrists who have a lot of buying power. So always think of that when you talk about sponsoring the NOA, that even though we don't report our numbers, that our numbers are tremendous. So keep that in mind. Um, More than that, just asking all members, all our members, our potential members, is to please donate to the NOF, and if you and also to the NOA. Now, the difference is the NOF. When you donate to the NOF, this money goes to students, to scholarships, to travel grants, to get them to conventions. So this is student, and we love that. We love our students, and we want them to be able to get some financial help. I saw a report on the cost of 4 years of college at Ohio State University is $260,000 for 4 years. That number doesn't even register with me. I think I went to school back in 1982, and I think I came out with $25,000 of a debt for 4 years. So that number is phenomenal. The students need help. They cannot get through school and with that type of financial burden. Also, with the current administration, passing a bill or just executive order or whatever it came down to be, that there's a cap on the amount of money that a student can borrow for professional school, which is a $200,000 cap, so $50,000 per year that all they can borrow. So that in itself will exclude a lot of people like myself. If I was going to school, I wouldn't have been able to go to school because I couldn't get that kind of a loan to do the $260,000 that it costs to go through school. So just please try to open up your heart, open up your wallets to donate to the NOF. So the NOA, please donate to the NOA. The NOA cannot get money from the NOF for operational costs. Our operational costs comes from membership dues, or if a doctor decides to donate to the NOA. So I'm going to ask that doctors open up their hearts and their wallets to donating to us also. Either organizations, you can go. We both have great websites. NOF has website. NOA has websites. Just Google it and donate something to not only help the students, but to help the organization to continue its mission. As I said, I can sit on here forever talking about the NOA. I just want to know if there's any questions out there. I don't know if anyone can type in the chat or any questions or concerns that they have. I'd really love to hear them. Being in a position of leadership, some things I can change, and I would like to try to change that before my presidency ends in 2027.
A lot of people in the chat are talking about how they're looking forward to Dr. Whitehead being the MC of the awards banquet. So thank
Yes.
you for making it official, Dr. Orso, and announcing that here on the webinar here in February. So he has plenty of time to prepare. If he didn't know then, he know now. It's
That's right.
official, Dr. Whitehead, that you will be the MC of 2026 NOA Awards Banquet. So prepare your suit, get your shoes shine, and we're going to enjoy all the entertainment that you're going to bring on that night.
And just know that no one's going to interrupt you except me. But that's, but other than me, you'll have full center stage. So thank you so much, Dr. Whitehead. Are
And
there
yes,
any questions out there? Any concerns that one has?
and if they come up later, we'll get those questions and try to review them on our next webinar. We'll try to respond back to you guys. Always feel free to put your questions in the comment section below on our YouTube channel. Dr. Orso, I'm thrilled to have had you as our guest speaker tonight. Thank you for your time, your wisdom, your knowledge, your leadership. Continue to serve as a NOA president and also as the optometrist there in the community for Cincinnati, Ohio. I hope that you will continue to have a great evening, sir. And I look forward to seeing you in St. Louis, Missouri.
And let me say this, Dr. Faiz has put a question up about student burnout. So I do like to talk about that, in that, because of the amount of debt that these students have, that in itself is a burden, so we have to find ways of lessening that financial burden. We also have to find more ways of tutoring students and being able to reach out to the young doctors who have already graduated optometry school, maybe a year or two out, so that they are having trouble with boards and things, that they can reach out and see what these doctors have done to pass boards and things like that. So as an organization, to help students, financially, to get, some financial help with that, and then helping helping them study for boards and things like that. Also, we've been in contact with the National Board of Examiners of Optometry, to where, we're trying to submit questions as an organization that, that the students can, relate to, so that boards are not so hard on them. So those are the sort of things we're trying to do to prevent student burnout, but just giving more support for the students. But to conclude, though, the future is bright. The NOA has existed for over 50 years, and we've been through, lean times and fat times. Right now, it's a lean time, but that's not going to stop us. We're not going to not exist because of not having federal funding. We're not going to not exist because we're not getting as much corporate support as we had before. We are going to reach out to Black organizations such as Divine Nines and big billion-dollar Black companies, and let them know that we have things to offer. We can come into your place of business and do, screenings. We can help you go out into communities to give back if that's what you want to do, so that they know we are our national organization that have the power and the doctors to come out and do things like that. So hopefully in the future we'll pair up and partner up with these companies and just continue the mission of the NOA and the NOF. So, and again, thank you so much, Dr. Brown. And thank you, NOF, and Dr. Reynolds. Dr. Reynolds, just a wonderful mentor. She tutors me every week or so and says, Mark, this is what you need. And I say, yes, ma'am. She's so intelligent. So, but just to conclude that, we need the donations. We need you to just help out the organization, and to reach out to doctors, member doctors, reach out to doctors who are not members. I don't care what religion, color, whatever. I don't care if it's a Martian optometrist. Hey, come on, let's join us, and that's what I hope people, doctors do, and so that we can get more members and donate and just keep our mission alive.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Orso. That's so true. And as Dr. Orso signs off on us. I want to encourage you guys to don't delay. Call your optometrist and get an eye exam scheduled today. This is the National Optometric Foundation. You can find more information about us on our website, www.nationaloptometricfoundation.com. On Facebook, you can follow us under the same name, National Optometric Foundation. On YouTube channel, you can subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel, National Optometric Foundation. And if you do decide to donate tonight, our Cash App is available, $ Protecting the Vision. As we close tonight's conversation, I want us to reflect on something powerful. Black History Month reminds us that progress happens when vision meets courage. When people decide that access matters, representation matters, and service matters. That's exactly what we see through the work of the National Optometric Association. In 2026, when we gather in St. Louis together for convention, we're not just attending another professional meeting. We're stepping into communities, we're invested in growth, and we're strengthening legacy. And when we participate and serve where you go, providing free eye exams to underserved communities, we're living out that legacy in real time. We're turning history into action. That's what Black excellence looks like in healthcare. That's what leadership looks like. And that's what service looks like. So as we look ahead in 2026 in convention and serve where you go in St. Louis, let's not just plan to attend. Let's make sure that we show up fully. Let's bring our knowledge, let's bring our compassion and our commitment to impact communities and individuals there, because the work continues. The vision continues, and also together we continue to build on this history and legacy that was founded in 1969. I want to thank you all for tuning in to our webinar tonight. We'll see you next month in March with our next webinar and next guest speaker. My name is Dr. Timothy Brown, Director of Education for the National Optometric Foundation, and I'll see you on the next webinar.